Okay, so this is a bit of an experiment, and I've asked each of you to give me a topic. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to speak extemporaneously on each of these topics. I'm going to try and weave them together. Now, the reason for doing this is very simply sometimes you will be called upon at very short notice to speak on a subject that you have no preparation for. And all of speakers need to be able to think fast on our feet. It's part of I think it's a good part of being a good speaker. So without further ado, I'm going to I'm going to change my virtual background. Come on. And here are the topics. And we're going to start with world peace. Well, world peace is an absolute joke. We live in a time of absolute death, destruction, and humanity is behaving at its absolute worst. People are genocide is everywhere. War is everywhere. And the reason it is everywhere is because there's money in it. And there's literally no money in peace, but there's lots and lots of money in war. So that's how we are in a state of war, and the world is going to hell in a handbasket. But the only thing we can do about getting away from that and getting towards world peace is taking up the human connection. And that's being kind to each other. That's talking and helping people and doing things for other people because you can, not because there's a reward in it. The reward is in the doing. So if somebody needs help, help them without asking what's in it for me. And that's a terrible part of society today. And if you think I'm down on society, I kind of am, because there's very little kindness anywhere in the world. Most people are so self-consumed and self-absorbed that they really don't have a thought for others. And it goes along with manners. You know, when you go out in the States, how was the last time you heard somebody say in a restaurant, well, I know I haven't been to a restaurant for a long time, but please or thank you? Good manners seems to have gone completely out of fashion. And in many cases, it's regarded as a sign of absolute weakness. So in order to get through life, I think that the most important thing one can have is a sense of humor. And humor is enormously valuable, especially when you can laugh at yourself, as I frequently do. Because like most English people, you know, we have this self-deprecating sense of humor, and we poke fun at ourselves, and we love it when people poke fun at us as well. But other than humor, the other thing that is really important in our life are cats. I mean, I'm a cat lover. I've been a cat lover all my life. And I quite honestly prefer the company of cats to human beings in many cases. It's not that I can have an intelligent conversation, but the sound of a cat purring on your stomach is just one of the most uplifting sounds you can ever possibly hear. Now, I mustn't leave dogs out of the equation. And for many, many years, I wasn't fond of dogs. I got bitten by an Alsatian when I was very young, and it put me off dogs for a very long time. But in recent years, the last couple of years, since Karen, my fiance, loves dogs, I've started to like dogs too. And now I enjoy being around them. And the other day, I went out for a walk with a friend of mine who's visiting here in Santa Pola. And he has this most beautiful husky called Inca. And he took her out for a walk, and he said, she won't come near you. She was abused as a puppy and she doesn't like men. And I went, no, she'll come to me. And came out, and he brought her up, and she immediately nuzzled me and wanted me to pet her. And he's looking at me like, she never does that. She never does that. So this has just been a riff. There's no content here. There's no value in the conversation. Well, maybe there is, but I thought it was an interesting experiment, and thanks for your indulgence.